Hello, brethren, and welcome to this week's nugget, which is taken from Solomon. Today, I shall be talking about Sir Winston Churchill. The summary reads that he was a celebrated war leader. Yes, he was, but he was much more than that. Sir Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill was an illustrious politician, army officer, great traveller, talented painter, prolific writer and orator, and a Freemason. A world statesman, he was renowned for his bulldog spirit, for his love of cigars, brandy and Pol Roger champagne, his distinctive dress sense and his famous V for Victory salute. He was twice Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, from 1940 to 45 and 1951 to 55. He became a Knight of the Garter in 1953, won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1953, and was awarded honorary US citizenship in 1963. His Nobel Prize quotes, "For his mastery of historical and biographical description, as well as for brilliant oratory in defending exalted human values." Sir Winston was born into privilege on the 30th of November 1874 at Blenheim Palace in Oxfordshire, educated at Harrow and Sandhurst, and commissioned as a cavalry officer in the 4th Hussars. He later served in Cuba, the northwest frontier of India, and the Sudan. To raise his profile and fund his lifestyle, he recycled his exploits as newspaper articles and books, but failed in his bid to follow father into politics in 1898. Not deterred, he became a war correspondent, and following his capture and miraculous escape from the Boers, became a household name and got elected as the Conservative MP for Oldham in 1900. His subsequent political life was both dazzling and controversial. He enjoyed high office, becoming President of the Board of Trade in 1908, Home Secretary in 1910, First Lord of the Admiralty in 1911. Then failure followed upon his disastrous campaign in Gallipoli. He resigned and rejoined the war as a soldier. By 1924, he was back, having been appointed the Chancellor of the Exchequer. Then came defeat in the 1929 election, followed by 11 years out of office. The outbreak of war changed everything, and following Neville Chamberlain's departure in 1940, Churchill became Prime Minister. It was truly his finest hour, though at times both he and the nation struggled to survive. In 1945, his political fortunes changed again, with the election of his rival Clement Attlee, and he again fell back upon writing and public speaking. By 1951, his fortunes had changed again, and he became Prime Minister for the second time, though in the words of Roy Jenkins, he was gloriously unfit for office. He resigned in 1955 and retired to his beloved Chartwell. Sadly, Churchill's Masonic career never blossomed. He joined the Studholme Lodge in 1591 in London on the 24th of May 1901, following the family tradition. He completed his second degree 2 months later and was made Master Mason on the 5th of March 1902. In 1912, war with Germany was on the horizon. As First Lord of the Admiralty, Winston was charged to put the fleet into an instant and contact readiness for war. Knowing that time was precious and that he must devote all energies to the nation, Churchill resigned from Studholme Lodge and became an unattached Mason. In a Masonic paper, Yasser Beresinier argued that Winston's overall Masonic activity was perfectly captured in a quote by Sir Sidney A. White, the Grand Secretary in 1937 to 1957, Winston Churchill was initiated as a young man but never progressed in the order, and has taken no part for many years. He added that this does not detract little from the pride we as Freemasons derive in the knowledge that Winston Churchill was a Freemason and descended from a long line of active and distinguished brethren of the craft. Sir Winston died on the 24th of January 1965, aged 91. He received the greatest state funeral given to a commoner since that of the Duke of Wellington. He was buried beside his parents within sight of his birthplace at Blaydon Churchyard. He was survived by his dear wife Clemmy, whom he had married in 1908, and 3 of their 5 children, Randolph, Sarah, and Mary. One of his many quotations may act as his epitaph, referring to that of living: "If it not be to strive for noble causes and to make this muddled world a better place for those who will live in it after we are gone." A very fitting epitaph for a very great man and Mason. Thank you very much, brethren. The references contain a little more information and of course can be found in the attached file. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I shall look forward to speaking with you again next week. Stay safe and be well. Goodbye for now, brethren.